Hey everyone, welcome to the Sanctum. This is AL. So today we're going to talk about heartmates. What? Not soulmates, not twin flames, but heartmates? Yeah, today we're going to make it a little bit different. We're going to talk about heartmates a bit. And today's reading is all about the heartmate. And there's a reason for it. A lot of times we talk a lot about the soulmate. We talk a lot about finding that one true love, but we seem to skip over heartmates. We seem to skip over the person that makes us better, that helps us to learn and grow, to basically get us that next step in our path in life to where we're ready for our soulmate or ready for whatever we need to be ready for in our lives. And I decided that it was time to do a video about that. It could also be the fact that my heartmate has come into my life, and it's an unusual step. Now, one thing to understand about heartmates, not all heartmates are romantic or sexual or anything. Some heartmates are besties, best friends, same sex, opposite sex. They can be male or female to you. They can be almost anything, but it is a instant connection. It is like there's a like this zing, a momentary connection on a level that's not like anything else you've ever had before. And in fact, in my other career, my other life, as an author, I had actually started on a series of stories about heartmates and soulmates, and some heartmates who think they're heartmates who are actually soulmates. And the nice thing about it is the fact that my heartmate is actually a writer and comic book writer. So we're teaming up together to work on bringing that to life. And I'm kind of excited and kind of freaked out because it's a new venture and I'm thrilled about it. So it's interesting. So that being said, I am going to kind of give you a hint of who I am in my other life, I guess now. If you haven't, and I'm going to do it surreptitiously. So if you've never, if you've seen the podcast called What Happens Next by Jay Sandlin, I was on the podcast a few weeks back, and in fact this past week there is a new podcast out that I'm on. I'm the only female that's on that podcast. So that would be the way to check it out and find out who I am. The author me. And there should be one coming up this coming week, I think it is, that I'm also part of. So yeah, check it out. It's on iTunes, on Google Play, and quite a few other locations. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up, give it a good review. The podcast is actually quite fun. I listen to it regularly. I know that he's got planned quite a few different people that he's trying to get aboard, and he's trying to get my attention on DM, and it's amazing. He is a trip. He knows I'm taping today too, so that's what's even more fun. So we're going to do this, and you're going to have choices, of course, as normal. Ametrine. Yay, Ametrine. I love you, girl. Numite, which is a very good shaman stone. Howlite. I've been waiting for a good piece of howlite for a while, and I got a couple of pieces now. Astrophyllite, which, oh my god, this is like one of my favorite stones ever since I've had it. The way it feels in my hand, it's awesome. aquamarine. I actually have a couple of pieces of this, and this is probably one of my favorite pieces that I actually have. And then, of course, rose quartz. So what I want you to do is, like we always do, I want you to take in the thought of finding, knowing, holding your heartmate close to you, finding more about who they are, what is their temperament. And I want you to close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out, and open your eyes, and let whichever card deck appeal to you, and pick that deck. It may be one, it may be two. Like I said, it's basically whatever draws your attention, whether it be a stone or a deck itself, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to go and take a choice. So to let you know the decks that we're using today, because we're awesome like this, is we are using Doreen Virtue's Romance Angels deck, Carolyn Miss's the Archetype deck, the Eternal Crystals by Jade Sky, the Enchanted Map Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, the Simple Tarot cards by Angie Green, which, oh my god, if you haven't ordered it, she has them back, and I got my 2-pack. One of them that's going to my friend Peggy. I have hers ready to go. I just got to ship it out. I'm so excited. I really am. I'm so excited. So let's get this on and let's get going. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to use and do rose quartz first. I know you're so excited. I'm actually going in order. Be shocked, be surprised. I'm told I'm supposed to do it this way. Believe it or not, yeah, my heartmate knows I read tarot, and it's funny because he's an atheist, so it's even more fun. So let's take a look at all this and see what the deal is. All right. Okay, rose quartz. First off, I'm laughing, and I'm laughing not because it's a bad thing. I'm laughing because in some ways it's like, this is your life kind of a moment. So let's talk. And by the way, I have a new microphone, so I'm getting used to this whole concept of I don't have to wear my lapel microphone, so this is kind of an all new sensation here for me. So we shall see how this goes. So let's talk about some of the characteristics of your heartmate and how this will come about. So we're going to go over some good characteristics, dark characteristics. And dark characteristics doesn't mean they're bad or evil. It just may be some of the things that they need to work on, and that may be the things that you help them work on. So one of the things is that they are close to the divine, whether they're pagan, Christian, whether they just believe in a higher power. They are higher, they have some higher awareness going on, and it actually is something that makes you happier around them when you meet them, because it gives you a sense of feeling that they're connected with the outer world and the inner world, and it makes you feeling like it's better there for you. It's also the fact with your heartmate, it's about that mountain scaling to the top, so seeing the inner depths, and also reaching to the top of your goals together. And that's something that you both have in common. The funny part about it is, in a way, they are a trickster. They transcend convention at times. They don't like stuffiness. They avoid predictability at times. You're gonna hear them say, "Oh, I am so utterly predictably unpredictable," which is their way of saying, I stick up my nose at convention and I will do what I please. But at the same time too, you can kind of predict what their unpredictableness will be at times, because you know them intimately so well, on a heart and soul level. And it kind of, in a way, actually makes you feel better. It makes you feel more secure. It's one of those it's one of those things that it truly is different for you guys, because one of the things that has you guys have in common is business. Not to say that you meet in business, but you have business in common, certain interests in business, certain things. It's amazing because of the fact that you both have that same kind of energy levels together. Now, one thing that does come up is about true love. This is a romance of a lifetime, so you may have that romantic aspect to your relationship, and it is going to be one of those romances that just kind of blow you away, and it's okay. That's awesome. But it also is that kind of romance that it fulfills a part of you that is needed to grow, and it doesn't have to be that romance that is forever. It's the one that you needed to in order to embrace who and what you are and be able to go forward, and you will always truly have that love for each other, even 20 years down the road kind of thing. You could see each other like 10 years from now, run to each other's arms, give each other a big huge kiss, like, you know, the V-Day kiss after World War II, and everybody around you be like, oh my God, and you'll be like, woo, I've missed you, how have you been? That kind of a feeling. So one of the things that is really important with you guys is that you guys do come together, that you have this time to learn and grow. And the reason behind it, and it's something that I keep getting this thing, is that you guys have been both betrayed. You both have had deceit in your life. You guys have been part of that boredom and apathy, feeling like you've missed something. And it's what kind of brings you guys together, is being like at a party together, and being in the corners of the room feeling bored, and you guys see each other, you're like, are you bored as shit here? And yeah, and they're like, yeah, and you're like, let's go. And you're like, all right, we're out of here. So that's one of the big things with your Heartmate that's coming up. The other thing is too, is that they are your hugest supporter. They're your biggest backer. They are the person who, no matter what, is your good fortune. They are the person who is your rah-rah, your cheerleader, the person who is going to be there for you no matter what. Like I said, this is why it doesn't matter. One of my Heartmates in my life was another female, and romantically we were not like super duper, like we didn't date or anything, but she romantically gave me a lot of love and hope and confidence that I didn't have. She made me feel safe within myself when I didn't feel safe with anybody. One of my videos I talk about when I was younger, when I was raped. She and her boyfriend, who was actually one of my best friends, were the reason why I was able to cope and get over it. She was huge in that recovery fact. Our relationship wasn't romance in the sense of, oh, I love you and let's date or whatever, but it was such an affectionate relationship. It was teaching me how to trust touch again, stroking my cheek, hugging me when I least expected it, which would freak me the hell out. And yet from her, I could handle it. And because she did that, I was able to accept touches from my guy friends, which then opened me back up to having relationships with other men. And if it hadn't been for her, I probably would never have recovered. And that's what a heartmate does, is a heartmate helps you recover and soothes those parts of you that have been broken, that have been harmed and damaged. And they help heal those aspects, help you to learn from the things that you failed at, and hold against yourself. And that's what the big thing about yours is. Now, there is going to be some serious upheaval in your life when they come in. One of the things that most people don't realize when the Tower comes is, yes, this is like upheaval. It can be instantaneous. It can be so short. I mean, everybody's like, oh, the Tower. Run, run, run. It's a crisis. We're all going to die. The answer to that is, yeah, nah. It's also one of the best cards for change, and knowing that if you're already on the path that you're wanting to change, this could be your quickest way to a clean slate. It is basically when a 5-year-old or less comes over and knocks over your Lego tower and basically wipes away where you've messed up anyway, and you just can start fresh. That's what this is. This is the big crashing wave that ruins your sandcastle and makes that beach brand new, fresh and clean. Go for it. So that's what your heartmate is doing for you, is giving you a way to start fresh and new, is giving you the chance to get rid of some of the unwanted stuff. And we know it works because you're going to get popularity, you're going to have triumph, you're going to have respect from people who may not have taken you solid before, because your heartmate is going to help you to see more in you than you see for yourself. So yeah, this is awesome. Way to go, rose quartz. So we're going to move on. Moving onward, and this is my heartmate still. Yeah, he's still being a brat. So I adore him. I really do. He is a sweetheart and a half. I am a very lucky person in this life. Yeah. I don't know how I got so lucky, and I am blessed by this. So it is one reason why I wanted to do this video, because everybody in their life deserves to have time with a heartmate. And there are different times in your life you may have a heartmate. Like I said, I've had some in my past when I was younger. I was 17 years old. I had one in my late 20s. I had one in my early 20s, one in my late 20s, or early 30s. Had a couple, probably late 30s. I had one in my late 30s. Well, late 30s now. I think I was like 33. Late enough, I think. And now, and it's a good feeling. It's empowering in a way. I didn't realize how much I needed it. So with this video, it actually feels empowering to me, because I can feel the power of the cards, the emotions going through the cards themselves, the power from which I'm feeling. And it's kind of weird, because it's like it was meant to do this, pick a card. So I'm feeling pretty cool about it. So let's talk about it. Okay, so cool thing is that your heartmate is going to be in touch with their goddess energy, their goddess feelings, life force, nature. We're talking about sensuality, wisdoms, that feminine divine. We're also talking about the fact that they may have a tendency on occasion to go into that damsel in distress mode, whether they're male or female. They'll be like, come save me now. It's like, dumbass, stand up. You're like in 2 feet of water. It's like, sorry, it's actually happened. I had a friend, I videotaped it, and died. But yeah, it's like, dumbass, stand up. It's like, whoops. It's like, yeah. Duh. But it's okay. That dark part of themselves is actually not a bad thing, because it kind of makes you see things for how you are. The other thing is that between the two of you, there's this big intuition factor. You kind of pick up on things that you think between the two of you. One says something, the other one finishes it, or you guys will call each other or text each other and you guys are both on the same track. Hey, I was just thinking about Papa, and they're like, yeah, da 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 da, and you're like, wait a minute, how did you know? And then you guys just start giggling, because it's that kind of energy. You guys are really truly linked on a soul level, and it's an awesome thing to see, because you're wide open to the concept of having your heartmate in your life. The magic stream refills you. It is something where you get divine wisdom and magic together. They're going to help you let go of control issues where you have this big thing about, I need to be in charge. If I don't control it, then it can't be. They're the ones that are teaching you that you can't control anything but yourself. Trying to control everything around you actually makes chaos exist. They're about supporting and loving your friends and celebrating. They're also teaching you how to enjoy work, the process of mastering the things that you think are the most impossible to master, which in my case is money. I'm actually creating a writing course. I'm teaching writing. I've always taught writing courses, and I've always done editing for authors and writers and stuff. And I got convinced by my heartmate and some of my best friends, like Silver and Peggy and a few others, to offer my services to teach how to write better, faster, how to be more publishable for both print and for self-publishing. How to self-edit, how to get yourself out there, and to offer my services for editing a book for self-publishing. And I have a tendency, I'm going to be totally honest with you, to not charge enough. It is a flaw I have, and I was told in no uncertain terms, I can't undercharge. I need to charge what I'm worth. I don't do that. And the reason why I don't do that is I have a very big self-esteem issue when it comes to understanding my worth. And I think a lot of us do. And that's something that Heartmates help you with. And mine is insistent that I get paid what I'm worth. And I keep telling him and that we have a very different idea of what I'm worth. And then we argue, and then he says a few things, and I realize that yeah, him and Silver and Peggy are not wrong. I just have a harder issue comprehending that process, and that's why I rely on them for that feedback, because I trust them, and the fact that I trust them enough to tell them that I know that I am faulty in that area, because they are my close friends. They are people I trust entirely at this level. And it's important for you because it's going to be that mastery process. It's because you can trust your friends. It's where your security and happiness comes from. Having them, it's always going to be that contentment, that happiness. They're the ones that you make your own family. and they're going to teach you how you truly make your own family. Family is not just the people you're born with. They're the ones that will teach you about seeking security without being greedy or hoarding. And there is a big difference, and they will help you to keep and maintain that balance. So for Newmite, way to go. I love it. And I'm telling you guys way too much about me, so that stops now. So Astrophyllite, let's talk. Let's see what's going on for you. Just so let's talk about your heartmate. Okay, you and your heartmate have had a past life relationship. So this is one of those soul group heartmates. This is somebody who's come back into your life to repeat that aspect. You guys are all about the honesty. He or she is all about the prostitute aspect, that whole surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. They don't believe in you're about breaking their spirit, but also about surviving intact. Occasionally, they have a tendency about wanting to withdraw from life, and that's one of the things that they help you with as well, is that you and they learn how to balance withdrawing from life when things get tough, in order to survive, and how to survive together versus apart. You've had some sad times, both of you have, and that's one of the reasons why the hermit mode comes into effect, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring that up. In fact, that's one of the reasons why they come into your life, is that you're in a sad moment, you're having a difficult time, and when they show up, you're going to be like, oh my God, why are you here? And they're like, why are you like this? And you're just kind of I can see you telling them because you can't help it. And yet there's this part of you saying, why the hell am I talking to them and telling them this? I don't tell anybody this nonsense. And it's okay. It really, honestly, it's okay that you do this. I mean, on the scheme of things, honestly, it's like they're a sunstone and you're feeling more like the gold greenstone. You have the sparkles, but you're still dark. You're feeling that your shine is getting lower and lower. And they come into your life, and because they're copper and your copper magnifies, attracts, and they bring forth that extra balance that brings you back up to feeling more glittery, more balanced within yourself. And it's one of the things that helps you to realize that you can survive the moment without feeling that you have to literally hurt yourself or hurt things. And in fact, it's about that commitment to your relationship as heartmates that really truly brings out the best in you. It's actually, what's really funny about it, two cards at once, hey, there is a strong partnership connection. It can actually turn into a love or romance connection. It's about finding your strength. They teach you boundaries because you've let people run over your boundaries like a motherfucking Mack truck, and it has to be dealt with. They're patient, they're methodical. It's amazing. He's intrigued. But it's Their methodicalness is what helps you to feel balanced, because it helps you to get a grip on the sensations that you've been feeling, because you've been feeling so not, but they're also really forgiving and loving. And that is what draws you to a complete, it's what draws you completely to a point where you understand who they are soul deep, but you understand who you are soul deep. And it's also about learning temperance, being peaceful, having harmony, learning self-control. And I laugh at this because my heartmate, when he sees this card, is going to hopefully remember the conversation we had about temperance. So, yeah. But yeah, it's all about having that patience and moderation, self-control, learning to be in harmony with yourself and with them, and learning to find your way of peace. That's going to be the key for you and them. And they're going to help you to find it. Amazing. All right. So let's go on to the next one, which we're going to do is we're going to the aquamarine. So perfect. So aquamarine, we're going to talk about you and your heartmate. Oh, I love this. This is amazing. Okay, so wow. Okay, and just so you know, this would probably be one of the ones I would have picked. So it's not the only one I would have picked, but this is one of the ones I would have picked. So if my heartmate ends up watching this video, I hope he goes ahead and kisses my ass, just so you know. So one of the things about your heartmate is the magical child, which basically, for those of us who are aware of the archetypes, is all about the potential for sacred beauty, the belief that anything is possible, but it does take, of course, hard work. It's also about being a pioneer, that, you know, it's a passion for doing and creating. It's about trying to go in areas which haven't been done before, but it's also about occasionally being compulsive about getting things done and not taking a break. And that's the dark side about your heartmate, about keeping going and not taking a break. Do you hear me now? It's important because this is the thing that drives you and your heartmate, is that dark side. And that's the thing that you kind of help each other to take a break on. You both have concerns about finances and career. But it's not what stops either of you. It's what actually draws you together to help each other out. You guys do have a spark that kind of makes you guys both wary, but at the same time also surprises the two of you. And I'm going to pick a card early because it has to be done. So, all right, these cards are going to be the death of me. It's about standing your ground, self-defense, about things that you have never thought some things that you have to stand your ground on. It's more of a, from what I'm seeing, is that you have a tendency sometimes to let people to run around you, run over you, not to stand your ground, not to defend the things that are right and true. Not because you don't want to, but because you've always been taught to defer to other people, defer to because they're higher than you, defer to things of that nature. It's also about teamwork and collaboration with your heartmate. You guys are going to work on things together in ways that you are not going to understand right off front, but things are going to happen in such a way that the collaboration you guys do together, whether it be as business partners, as friends, whatever, it's actually going to help build your strength, build the way that you're going to be able to do. There's also this bone collector, which is basically about your sacred spirit. It's about your ancestral ties, the idea of how the past influences the future, and actually honoring the now. So we know it also means about courage. The big thing about courage is that your heartmate is going to be huge about your courage and help you. They're going to help you spark a new idea, occasionally help you be a little bit rebellious when you're not. They're also going to teach you more about self-sufficiency, about being financially independent, and to go for your desires, to allow your charisma to come forth on a level that they have always seen within you. So your heartmate is really truly a go-getter, somebody who can go a little bit too far and has to be dragged back a little bit, but they are the person who really truly wants the best for you. So you're lucky in a lot of ways, both on the monetary and personal level, but also in the heart and soul level. So that's awesome. All right, way to go, Aquamarine. Now we're gonna head to Howlite. Howlite. All right, Howlite. So let's talk about your heartmate. Whoa. Lord have mercy. Okay. Ooh. All right, so we've got some revealing to do. So, Howlite, let's talk about your heartmate here. Your heartmate's going to probably be, I would say, the death of me, but it's not. Your heartmate has some vampire attributes. Not in a bad way, though. What I'm seeing is that they're going to be more aware of somebody actually kind of draining you. They make you aware that people are pulling away your energy, that are taking advantage of you, that are basically making you less you. And they're going to be that person who sits there and steps in and says, hey, that's enough. Don't let them do that anymore. You're better than that. They're also going to be that teacher aspect. They're going to be the one that communicates knowledge and experience. But occasionally, some of their teaching may hit a negative tone, and it's not necessarily that they're a negative person. It's just occasionally it hits their weak points, and that's where the negative portion comes out. And that's a tough one for them. Which is why Fushat comes up. It's all about healing the heart chakra. And that's important here because this is going to be huge for the two of you. Healing is big. Healing is like one of the biggest things that is important for every single heartmate in these readings, is the fact of healing. The heart chakra is really going to be key for you, more so than the other ones. Each other one has their own chakra point to be aware of when it comes to their heartmate. For you, it's that because there's choices to be made. There's going to be moments that you're going to probably fight with your heartmate. Every heartmates have fights. I had my first disagreement with mine. He was drunk at the time, and he said something and pissed me off, and I wailed into him. And he apologized. And the next day he did not remember, and I gave him back what he said, and he apologized again, this time fully sober, because he knows me and knows me well enough that there are things that I don't like. So yeah, part of the thing he's going to help you deal with is about fears. you need to learn to trust your intuition. You need to be aware of deceptions out there. And he is... he's going to be the person who is going to make you realize that you can accomplish your dreams if you try. And it's going to be scary because he's going to make you realize that he's part of your dreams. And that's going to be crazy. Why? Because it's about choice. It's about lovers. And there's a reason why I'm bringing that card up, which came up, which really confirms what my last card for you is. Oh, yeah. Because he doesn't want you to dwell in the past. It's all about that whole one ring circus thing, which is all about the two of you. It's about one ring, you both in there being shown. It is about the fact that as a choice, it's part of balance. You guys need to be balanced because it's a possibility of you guys being in a romantic relationship and that relationship being soulmates. So it may be you start off as heartmates and realize that this heartmate relationship is actually more than what you thought. And that can be the case. And wishes come true. So, for you, my friends, you have the most unique possibilities of heartmates, is that your heartmate is actually your soulmate in disguise. But you have to take that path to learn the things you need to learn before the reality ekes out. And the reason being is that you need to you need to understand and grasp, both of you do actually, the lessons that you are trying to teach each other, so you can both be on that same wavelength, learn to work together and not against each other, and complement one another to go forward. So yeah, intriguing. It's an intriguing reading, I must say. Definitely not one I was expecting. All right. Ametrine, you're next. So let's take a look here. Okay. Really? Seriously? You're going to go with this? Really, Ametrine? Really? You're going to... Oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm going to freaking flip. All right, people. First things first. As you guys know, when I preset the cards up, I don't look. And a lot of times there'll be times where I'll set these all up early. Or I'll shuffle with you guys online here. And this kind of made me laugh because of the fact that, for me, some of the cards that come up, especially if when I pick my own cards, like whichever deck I pick that I think resolves towards me, and it comes up a certain way, it amuses the hell out of me, especially when it's on par, or if it hits in a vein that I did not expect. And this is a did not expect, and hell no, what the heck were you people thinking? But you know what it's like when you're trying to be who you are. So let's talk about your heartmate. Your heartmate's going to have that virginity, the virgin aptitude. So we're looking at, it's more of being pure of heart and spirit. They're going to be wholly encapsulated. They're going to be complete within themselves in a way. And what that means basically is that they're going to be ready to become part of your life. They're not going to be codependent. And that's going to be better because they can teach you more without you feeling that you're going to carry the load. The other thing is that they're also like an engineer. They're going to have this creative energy, that's going to be expressed in practical terms to make it simpler and easier for you to understand. But at the same time too, it's also going to be able to give you these ideas, these things. But occasionally they can kind of go a bit overboard with these ideas of we can just do this and resolve things, and not take the emotional component into play. And that's kind of a tough bag. And that's one of the things that you do, is you bring the emotional balance into play for them. Your Heartmate's also about travel, the root and crown chakra. So top to bottom, balance. And traveling is huge for them, because they do, whether it be for work or they like to go places on vacations, they're all about wanting to see the world, experience new things, and it's big for them. It's also about encouragement on both ends. You guys both encourage each other. You're all about sharing your thoughts and patterns, the idea of being there for each other. You guys are about planning for the future. The future is important for you both. It's also about getting success and victory. It's about learning about love, because that's what Heartmates are about, really. Learning about love, how to love fully and completely. It's about strength. Realizing what your strength is, knowing that you are stronger than you think you are. And it's funny because that card came up, because my Heartmate actually sent me my Captain Marvel Funko Pop. And told me that I did not realize my own strength or power. And I love Captain Marvel. She's my girl. So having said that, it's a big thing to knowing your strength, knowing your power, knowing that you're more than what you believe you are. It's about building investments and a legacy. And legacy a lot of times is more than just money. It's more than just it's more than just who and what you are. It's also who and what you have beyond you, whether it be kids, whether it be family and friends. It's a legacy. Like for me, it's always been writing. My books are a legacy to the future. Changing lives one goal at a time, healing people based on my fiction. And the reason why is because fiction can change thought patterns and lives, and that's been a very big part of who I am. But I've also realized that part of my healing process and part of who and what I am as an empath is I know that I heal and I help doing these readings, and it's a legacy in itself. And that's what your Heartmate does with you, is you guys build a legacy together. And it's about calling in your soulmate, whether they are your soulmate or whether that this process, that this Heartmate specifically helps guide you and bring you to your soulmate. That is what's going to be a big thing. They're going to help you, bring you to your goal. It's going to be about gaining and receiving prosperity. The biggest thing with this is that they are truthful, they're analytical. They have a tendency to be a little bit too analytical at times and forget about the heart and soul. They may ask you occasionally to put your heart aside and think with your head, because they're afraid of emotional things. And it's your job to bring an emotional portion to them. But it's also about justice. It's about fairness between the two of you. It's about consequences and doing what's right. And occasionally what is right is not necessarily what you want it to be. It's about doing what has to be done. And that's going to be big for you and your Heartmate. So, something to keep in mind. Even when you don't like it. So, all right. So that is the reading for today about who is your Heartmate, what are they like. So I'm going to do a really quick reading just for you, all of you. We're going to do a quick little reading that's going to basically be all about, is my heartmate near? And the reason why is that I think it's important to actually acknowledge the need and the desire. So I'm going to grab the Moonology deck along with the Simple Tarot. And I'm just going to do this little bonus part. We're just going to just deal just a couple cards. No big deal. Just so everybody has a general idea. Because between the 6 cards representing so many people, we can give a generalized idea of how soon you may find your heartmate to get you on your path, help you find a little bit more happy. And those of you who currently have heartmates, to step up your healing, because some of you may not be allowing the healing to happen. You may actually be pulling away and doing crap you're not supposed to be doing, aka hello Silver, I'm speaking to you right now. And of course I just let like 5 billion cards fall to the ground because, hey, what else am I supposed to do at this point? All right. Oh, so let's see here. Luckily, it was just the whole deck flipped. Yay. So that don't count. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. All right, perfect. Have faith in your dreams. Confidence is the key to your success. Oh, so we're going from waxing to new moon in Leo. All right. Strength in reverse. Sudden change, news out of the blue. 8 of Wands in reverse, and the moon in reverse. So basically what we're looking at right now is we know that we're going to need to have faith and having confidence to success. So we're going from having faith, which is basically, hey, we're waiting for this to happen. We're needing for this to happen. Will it happen? Oh my God, please, please, please. And we're going from not feeling strong, not feeling we have self-acceptance or courage, to not trusting ourselves, not trusting our intuition, basically worried about who and what we are. And basically, occasionally, even though we know that there are secrets out there, we know that there's deception out there, not being self-aware of what secrets and deception we may be giving, much less being taken in by, to all of a sudden, it's not like a sudden change, news out of the blue. It's going to be, we're going to be given warning. We're told, hey, it's coming. Your heartmate is coming. Be ready. You're giving you pieces of the puzzle to be there for you. Build upon it. There we come for your legacy. Your heartmate is on its way. So we're talking anywhere from 16. We're talking anywhere from 8 weeks to anywhere from 8 weeks to about 6 months before the first occurrence of your heartmate comes into your life. So yeah, not bad. So for all of you who've been here, congrats on the readings. I hope you enjoyed them. If you like it, subscribe. Give me ideas of what kind of readings you want to see in the future for Pick a Cards. Also, for what kind of readings you like in general. I don't mind taking suggestions if there's anything that you kind of have in mind. Or if there's certain things about tarot that you want to know or learn. There's been things that I've been putting together, teaching friends and family about, even some of the skeptics I know. So if there is, just let me know. Subscribe. And like I said, I'll put the link below about where you can find the podcast that I've been on. Therefore, you can find who I am outside of here. Until next time, Bendithian.